Hey, what's happening, everyone? Just going to show you this Wednesday morning training session. Wednesday mornings, I wake up at about 5:30, take a bunch of caffeine, drive myself to the gym, start training about 6:30-ish, after I wake up and drive to the gym. So mentally, I came into the gym and I felt well prepared, like I could just do anything that I wanted to do. Regardless of the weight, I would be able to do it. Because mentally, I was strong, as strong as I could ever have been on Wednesday. And that's usually the mindset that I have when I go into the gym, because I know what I'm capable of, and I know how I feel. I'm pretty dialed into my capabilities as an athlete, as a powerlifter. So you see that 315 goes up fast, 365 goes up fast, but something happened around this 405, and I'm not sure what it was. Perhaps it was not enough caffeine, not enough sleep, poor nutrition or something like that. No burrito jokes, because we all know that fits within any kind of nutritional boundaries. Regardless, something happened, and I had a goal to get a new 3-rep max today, and I figured I could do 455 for 3, which would have been a new 3-rep max. It would have been hard, but I knew that I could have done it. And rather than listen to what my body was telling me physically what I was capable of, and telling me like, hey, maybe you shouldn't go up anymore after this 435. That 435 was a little bit slower than I would have liked. I tack on another 20 pounds. I go 455 right here. I wanted to get this for a new 3-rep max. And what you're about to see is most likely the ugliest set that I have done in recent history. And especially that second rep was slow. It was a grinder. I got stuck above parallel, and I'm not exactly sure what happened, but the strength just wasn't there physically. So yeah, I was sort of bummed that I didn't get the 3-rep max that I wanted, but at the same time it had a valuable lesson in showing me that, you know what, it's time to really step away from these heavy weights and have an honest conversation with myself about getting back into a more work capacity developing, a greater volume developing, just in the general sense of the word, a bodybuilding block of training. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Personally, I prefer to lift heavy singles, doubles, triples, and then do my accessories, which you'll see later on in the video. However, that's not working out for me right now, obviously. The stamina isn't there, the strength isn't there, and I've got to step away. And so I'm going to be committed, and it took something like this. It took something like these 3 sets of 2 with 405 to really show me that, hey, step away from these heavy weights, give yourself a break from this intensity, and accumulate volume, go back to building your base, go back to getting a ton of reps in, getting a lot more practice, and just really get back to building your body versus just building lifts. And that's something that, the people at the top of the sport in powerlifting, they understand. They understand clearly. They've got it dialed in, what they've got to do, and when they've got to do it. And the further you get away from the top of the sport, the less that you know that, because you're just more about doing those fun things. And right now I'm kind of in this range where it's like, I don't want to stop lifting these heavy weights all the time, because that's what's fun. But what's fun isn't necessarily what I need as a lifter. And at the same time, what is fun right now, I'm no longer having fun doing, because I'm not feeling good at it. I'm not enjoying it as much because I leave the gym dissatisfied with my performance. And so that kind of sucks. But at the same time, it gives me an opportunity to change my mindset and to find fun in something that is challenging. And that's what I'm going to do. So moving forward, you'll likely see me doing fewer heavy doubles, singles, triples. You'll see me doing more sets of 5, 8, 10, 12. And that's going to be on all of my training days. I'll be doing much more volume, developing my work capacity. So that's going to also be reducing my rest periods and adding in more exercise into my training hour, and just generally trying to get more work done per unit of time. And that is going to be developing my work capacity. It's also going to be building my body. Some would say bodybuilding, you know, and as a powerlifter, that is important because if you don't have big, strong muscles, you're really going to be limiting how much weight you can lift. A larger muscle has a greater potential for exerting strength, for producing force. And so that's what I've got to do, especially since I'm trying to get to, you know, a 190-ish range so I can compete heavy in the 181s like I do currently in the 165s. And in order to do that in the most efficient way possible, it's going to require, you know, a more bodybuilding-esque type of training mentality. Now, do heavy doubles and singles cause hypertrophy? Yeah, of course they do. I'm not going to refute that. But when it comes down to training and having an economical use of your time, it's just simply more economical to do something like 3 sets of 10 versus 10 sets of 3 at a heavier weight, because it's going to require you to do more rest at 10 sets of 3, and that simply just takes longer. So yeah, that's the goal moving ahead. You saw me go up to a 335 bench with my moderately closer grip, and I wanted to get that for a double. Nope, only got it for a single. Then I backed off to 295 and I did those back off sets, and those were all really hard. And so it showed me again that no, it's just not your legs that's weak. It's just not like your back or your trunk that's weak, Cody. You know, you're just kind of being weak today. So after the benching, I just went straight to accessory works. You saw me do some slow, controlled, concentric and eccentric phase on those pull-ups. So that's slow, moving my chin to the bar, slow, lowering myself down. I tried to do about a solid 1 to 2 Mississippi up and down on those. After that, I did what's called a French press. It's basically like a standing skull crusher, but you put the bar behind your head. The goal is you point your elbows at the sky. And then I did some band work for my rear delts, some band work for my triceps again. And you'll see a lot more of that moving forward because I got to get bigger to get stronger, and that's the goal. Hope you learned something. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching.